Today, we'll uncover 12 signs you're smarter than you realize. Intelligence isn't just about IQ tests or big words. It's how you think, react, and see the world. Let's dive in. Smart people don't just have one great idea. They have hundreds. Most of them are bad. But that's the secret. Quantity leads to quality. You throw ideas at the wall until something sticks. If your brain never stops creating, that's a big sign of intelligence. You laugh at things no one else finds funny. Dark jokes, weird references, people either don't get it or think you're crazy. But humor is intelligence at work, connecting dots others don't see. If your jokes go over people's heads, you might be ahead of them. You recall tiny details from years ago. Conversations, facts, random moments. Your brain saves everything. It's not just memory, it's how you organize information. You see patterns, you make connections. That's an elite level skill. Teachers called it not paying attention. But daydreaming is a sign of deep thinking. Your brain doesn't drift, it explores. Some of the smartest minds in history were daydreamers. If you catch yourself lost in thought, don't fight it. It's how you solve problems. You don't just feel things, you analyze them. Why do I feel this way? What caused it? You understand yourself better than most, and that means you understand other people too. That's emotional intelligence, one of the strongest signs of real smarts. You love your friends, but solitude? That's where you thrive. Silence isn't lonely, it's productive. It gives you space to think, create, and recharge. If you actually enjoy being alone, your brain is wired differently in a good way. Even if you don't play an instrument, you get music. You notice patterns, rhythms, details others miss. Maybe you hum songs after hearing them once, or tap beats with perfect timing. That's a rare skill. It shows strong pattern recognition. And that's pure intelligence. Most people need clear answers. You don't. You're okay with not knowing, because you understand that life isn't black and white. The smartest people live in the gray area where real thinking happens. Overthinking, worrying, spiraling thoughts. Smart people don't just imagine good outcomes. They imagine everything that could go wrong. Anxiety is just intelligence running too fast. It's exhausting, but it also makes you sharp. Your desk is cluttered. Your room is chaotic. But somehow, you know exactly where everything is. Messy doesn't mean unorganized. Your brain prioritizes creativity over neatness. If your space is full of ideas, your mind probably is too. To outsiders, you look like you're wasting time, sitting, staring, walking aimlessly. But inside, your mind is on fire. Smart people think more than they act, and that's why their actions actually matter. When something excites you, you lose track of time. You forget to eat. Ignore texts. You get lost in your work. That's a sign of deep intelligence. Because smart people don't just think. When they care, they obsess. Your brain prioritizes creativity over neatness. Most people think intelligence looks like a tidy desk, color-coded folders, and a well-planned schedule. But for highly intelligent people, creativity comes first. That means your space might be chaotic. Papers stacked in random places, notes scribbled on napkins, books left open to the most interesting pages. It doesn't look organized, but there's a method to the madness. Every scattered paper, every misplaced item serves a purpose. It's not about being careless. It's about making sure ideas don't get lost. Because to you, thoughts are more valuable than appearances. If your space is full of ideas, your mind probably is too. It's a reflection of the way your brain works, constantly moving, always processing, never settling on one thing for too long. You might have dozens of projects going at once, not because you can't finish things, but because your curiosity pulls you in different directions. One idea leads to another, and another. You see possibilities everywhere. New ideas are constantly forming, colliding, evolving in ways most people can't even imagine. And that's what makes your intelligence so unique. To outsiders, you look like you're wasting time. They don't see what's happening inside your head. They see you sitting in silence, staring at nothing, lost in thought. Maybe you're pacing around the room. Maybe you're lying on the couch with your eyes closed. To them, it looks like you're doing absolutely nothing. But inside, your mind is on fire. Thoughts racing, connections forming, problems solving themselves in the background. Your brain isn't idle. It's working harder than ever. It's why some of the greatest minds in history were known for their thinking habits. Einstein would sit for hours, lost in thought. Nikola Tesla would stare at walls, running experiments in his mind before ever touching a tool. Leonardo da Vinci filled thousands of pages with sketches and notes, evidence of a mind that never stopped exploring. They weren't wasting time. They were giving their brains the space to create. Because intelligence isn't just about knowing things, it's about understanding how to think. Smart people think more than they act. They take their time. They let ideas simmer. They don't rush into action just for the sake of being busy. In a world that glorifies hustle, this can be misunderstood. People admire those who are constantly moving, constantly grinding. But the smartest people know that speed doesn't always equal success. Deep thinking takes patience. It requires stepping back, looking at the bigger picture, and letting thoughts mature before acting on them. That's why their actions actually matter, because when they do decide to move, they're unstoppable. When something excites you, you lose track of time. You dive in so deep that hours feel like minutes. You enter a state of flow, where nothing else exists except the task in front of you. It could be writing, painting, coding, researching, or even just thinking through a complex problem. You forget to eat, ignore texts. Not because you don't care, but because your brain is fully engaged. The outside world fades away, and your mind becomes a laser, focused on a single goal. You get lost in your work, not because you have to, but because you want to. It's not just a job or a hobby, it's an obsession, a problem that needs solving, a puzzle that demands to be pieced together. You can't stop until you figure it out. And that's a sign of deep intelligence, because smart people don't just think, they obsess. They don't just dabble in ideas, they dive into them with everything they have. They explore every angle, test every possibility, and refine their thoughts until they reach perfection. This level of passion is rare. Most people give up when things get difficult, but you don't. You push through, not because you have to, but because you need to. Your brain won't let go until it finds an answer. And that's what separates intelligence from mediocrity. Not just the ability to think, but the drive to think deeply. The willingness to wrestle with big ideas, even when they're frustrating. The patience to sit with uncertainty until clarity emerges. The curiosity to ask why when everyone else is satisfied with what. That's what intelligence really looks like. And if this sounds like you, you're probably much smarter than you think. If you related to even a few of these, congrats. You're probably way smarter than you give yourself credit for. Let me know in the comments. How many of these signs sound like you? And if you enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe, and keep expanding your mind.